it's not about getting the right person elected. It's about making it politically profitable for the wrong person to do the right thing.
I know. it's all...
A comedian making fun of Republicans? What? Everybody talks about how we've had this two-party system. It's so messed up. We need an outsider, someone that's successful on their own in the business world, blah, blah, blah. And then you have one.
And then they all turn on him.
Everybody who loved him forever, now he's literally Hitler.
I kind of always wish that there was a list with no titles. Here's what you're standing for. Here's what you stand for. You go down the checklist. Check, 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 check. I like this person. I'll vote for that person.
Yeah.
And then pull it back to the table. Oh my gosh, it could have been a Democrat. It could have been a Republican.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
Matt Doje.
And this is Magician.
And the Jock.
The actual debates start tonight.
Yes, hopefully this video makes it and YouTube doesn't
hate us and hit us with a copyright.
Every time.
If you guys have any suggestions, if this goes through and you guys can see it, of how we can get past the copyright bullshit, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So this is Bill Maher, which might be one of the most...
controversial...
I don't even say... He's just the most pompous... Ugh, I can't stand him. But at times, he's good. I mean, he is what he is.
He's so smart that he's too smart for his own good, I guess.
I mean, when you have a bunch of sycophants in the audience always clapping for you and laughing at your
stupid jokes,
lame ass,
not funny jokes.
He's just like, oh. That's why I
so funny, Bill.
But he does say some good stuff too.
Yeah.
So he's been very consistent. But he is on an equally as deplorable show. God. The View.
I will have a hard time with this because I cannot stand The View.
4 chicks sitting around talking.
Yeah, and it's not because it's all women. It's
but that doesn't help.
It doesn't help that they're gawking.
Whoa.
Bill Maher's latest book is fittingly titled, What This Comedian Said Will Shock You. Because from stand-up to politically incorrect to real time, he's built a career on not holding back. Take a look.
The Republicans have been showing up at the trial dressed like Trump. Well, I know. it's all...
A comedian making fun of Republicans? What?
No
He is
way.
blazing his own trail.
God, he is so...
Wow.
No one ever does that.
Seriously.
J.D. Vance was there, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tommy Tuberville, the head of the House, Mike Johnson, Matt Gaetz. No wonder Trump falls asleep in the trial. He's counting his sheep.
Welcome, Bill Maher.
Hi.
Bill.
They like me here.
They do.
He has that elitist vibe to him.
Yeah, he does, man. And I think why I said that is, I have to look it up and fact check it, but if he's like 78, he was sitting there calling Trump, and another video I watched, a review.
They're old.
He was saying, they're so old. I was like, you're the same age.
Yeah, but he's not running for politics.
No, but he's also like talking about it.
Our politicians are incredible. It is.
Well, you have to have.
It's Walking Dead, like Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi. But anyways.
Joy likes you. That's big.
I
do like them. We know each other for years. They're comedians, you know.
This is a good renaissance.
She's a
and I'm not funny.
Were you at the...
You were L.A., I was New York.
I was New York.
Oh, sorry. So wait,
And it was only like 15 years ago, right? Because we're 40.
Yeah, exactly. So you have this new book out, and I watch your show all the time, so I know that you're a comic, but you basically go after Trump and Biden. You know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that.
She sounds well researched.
Yeah.
So,
Not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power. Long ago, when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot, and I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot, because plainly, I was using the term slow-moving coup before he was elected the first time.
That's right.
I said, this guy is never going to concede power. It's impossible to imagine him going, oh, I lost.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's just not in his nature.
So, but I
wonder if did he apply that same to Al Gore?
When the hanging
Back with the hanging
chads and the Florida votes. He probably didn't.
No, guaranteed not, dude.
You know, he's probably
dude, he toes the party line, and I guarantee he's gonna say something about how the lockdowns. I think I've seen clips where like I was hesitant on the vaccines and stuff. It's like, what the hell you weren't?
No, you were right there to thick of things.
Of course, toeing the party line, which I get it. You have to do it.
Yeah, if you're part of the party,
If you're
you have to be.
Don't bite the hand that
But
feeds.
I just don't get the whole coup thing. Like, Trump had 4 years that he was in office, right?
Right.
Don't you think he would have taken over? Even if he didn't say, okay, I lost, who cares? He's not there. Who cares
Right.
what he says?
Don't trust your lying eyes with the last election. This last election, I'm done with politics.
It was so crap.
Because it's not as if, the problem is it's my team versus your team. If you're a diehard Steelers fan, like your team can do no wrong. Because fan is short for fanatic. It's become the same way with politics.
Very much so.
And I'm just like, guys, they all play golf at the same country club.
You know, it's not like I'm the biggest fan of Trump, but what he did in 4 years.
You know why I love him? Because everybody hated him.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody talks about how we've had this two-party system. It's so messed up. We need an outsider, someone that's made it successful on their own in the business world, blah, blah, blah. And then you have one.
And then they all turn on him.
Everybody who loved him forever, now he's literally Hitler.
So I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but
Oh, I don't know about that.
are you afraid that you might, influence people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say,
Yeah.
but you know I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's
What you think is true.
Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You know, you look at somebody right away, you can kind of just
What's he trying to say? Biden and Trump are on the same mental level?
Yeah.
Does anyone have eyeballs?
I mean, well, that's basically what he said. He's like, Trump, I think he's trying to say is he doesn't present himself as old and feeble like
God,
Biden does.
no. Trump,
But there's also 3 years difference.
he looked younger when he came out of office than when he got in.
Yeah.
Like,
usually a president ages.
oh my
tremendously.
God, like Bush, Obama, you look at them, you're like, geez, who would sign up to be president?
Once again, I gotta Google it to figure out. But once again, he's talking about age.
I don't know. It's hard to listen to him.
Bill Maher, 68.
68. So, I mean, it's hard to listen to him, but when she was like, I'm almost afraid to, I mean, they're giving up they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
They're really not allowed to.
them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
What?
Well, here's what I said. Like, when I came back after the strike in September, I said,
Thank God there's a checks and balances for whoever's in president.
Yeah.
Whether you love them or hate them, they don't have unlimited power. Thank God.
Yeah.
Anyone who thinks Biden is actually
If
calling the
Simon,
plays,
it's got to be just a saying.
guys, I don't care. I can't. Politics, poly means many, ticks, blood-sucking insects. So whatever side, politics is many blood-sucking insects.
Yeah.
I don't care either side, but guys, that's ridiculous.
he should get out. Because he's just lost the faith of people. It's not fair. He's actually done a pretty good job. Yeah. But I said he's going to be Ruth Bader Biden. That's the term I used. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She stayed too long at the fair. I remember Obama had her over to the White House, like in 2013, to hint, hey, spend more time with the grandkids. That would not be a good idea. Ruth.
Why give a
She
lifelong
didn't take the hint,
appointment
and she
if
was
you're
not
going
in
to
good
get...
health,
I
and
know.
she stayed too long, and she ruined her legacy and got the Supreme Court now to be a pretty right-wing organization. Said Biden shouldn't do that, but ego. He's Dracula. He has crossed oceans of time to be here, and he's not going to give it up now.
Well, you lead me kind of the next question. The election is less than 6 months away, and Biden has done good things. He's made improvements and strides on employment numbers, infrastructure, gun reform, climate action. The stock market is experiencing highs. Now Trump is facing 80 felony charges, and he talks a lot about the Supreme Court decision. He brags that he's the reason it was turned, Roe v. Wade, and hence he won't accept the results if he doesn't win anyway. So what are we missing here?
Who is this?
What are people missing here? Because there's a disconnect with that contrast. Because I understand what you're saying about I've been critical as well, but that is not enough for me to tip the scale the other way, and yet for some it is.
Well, I think some people.
So when someone's, yes, of course it is. He's senile. I mean, just give me a break. Like, am I crazy? Have I taken crazy pills? I can't even watch it. There's a reason where the laughing stopped.
It's so weird. And the thing with you is like you're more. I'm more on the right side. I'm
very conservative. I just don't think there's any difference between the parties.
But you have a little bit more logical sense, and like what you just said, there's no difference in the parties. But
it's professional wrestling to me.
Yeah, but you can clearly see this just bogus what they say. It's absurd.
You end up drinking your own Kool-Aid, your own bullshit long enough. You're like, I'm afraid to say. Like, they can't even hear what they're saying.
Take the Jello shots.
Like, God. Jeez.
People resent the question, like, what don't you get? Look, I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, don't put the swastika on him. The National Socialist Party from Germany. Yeah. This whole that he was a far right, guys. Just do 5 seconds of research.
It's a Google search.
Up is down, down is up. There's so many things you've been fed. Eventually, you just realize whatever they're saying, you almost can just believe the opposite. You'd be a little bit.
I think what
probably closer.
A conservative once said to me, "What you guys in the liberal side of it don't get about Donald Trump is we don't like him either."
Yeah.
It's just that in this country, it's binary. I mean, gender may not be binary, but politics is. You only get 2 choices. And the stuff that they are afraid of,
I've seen him go in on.
They see Donald Trump as a bulwark against, and that stuff is a lot closer to the home. It's like my kid is coming home from school, and they're not allowed to tell me if they're transitioning. The school is going to take the side of the kid over the parent. Stuff like that. There is a lot of crazy stuff on the left. This book. There's stuff that each side is going to like, and probably stuff they're not going to like so much in there.
So, there's a difference between the left and liberals.
Yeah.
Liberal used to be like classical liberalism, but the left is progressive, drag queens reading books at the library to your kids. Clown world.
Could you say it's the same thing as like the Tea Party is to the Republican Party?
No, I think that the Tea Party, look at the Tea Party. Look what they did. Compare the Tea Party to Antifa or Occupy Wall Street or whatever. It's not even close. To even think they're anywhere near the same. Yeah. This is why I don't get into politics.
It gets very annoying.
It is.
It's very annoying. And you're just like, the hypocrisy of everything, and you're sitting there watching like, am I not seeing the same shit?
Don't trust your lying eyes. Like, it's so much projection. You
like
realize how much they're projecting on. Yeah, it's crazy.
That wacko chick who is kind of hot, but anyway, like she's sitting there, like talking about inflation stuff. Am I the only one that's seeing like record high gas prices?
And fortunately, so Milton Friedman said something really good. He said, Milton Friedman, famous economist, mentor like Thomas Sowell, Nobel Prize-winning economist. I think started out as a Marxist, but said something, it's not about getting the right person elected. It's about making it politically profitable for the wrong person to do the right thing. That's the only thing. It's not about, I got to get this guy in over that guy. Yeah. Hell, Trump was in during the lockdowns. Trump was in with the vaccine. So if you're against the lockdowns or the vaccines,
you got to kind of be against
you got to be like, well, how do I settle? There's so much cognitive dissonance. I don't even believe with half the shit that I say.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, I don't believe everything I say. Like,
Was that's the answer to the Donald Trump situation is what's going to get him elected is this woke stuff that a lot of people in this country just don't go for.
Well, one thing that I break with is that you can disagree on candidates, but when one talks about literally upending the entire democracy, that's my heart out. Like, there's not an equal comparison here. So I know you said some people...
Upending the entire democracy. First of all, we're a constitutional republic. This whole democracy,
Yeah,
mob rule bullshit. Like, I
So
can't skip
dumb.
over those. I would be like, no, explain what you mean by that. Where has he said that?
Well, she can't. That's the problem with that.
It's talking points. I get it, but it's like upending the entire democracy. As soon as you can tell when people speak with such certainty or such, they've never been challenged on their points. You're just like, you don't even have to offer other evidence. Just be like, can you clarify? What do you mean by that? Well, the thing. Yeah. Sorry, I need to shut the hell up. My bad. Billy, you're getting me wound up, dude. It's all you.
That question of being asked that, but when given these two options, are they not as scared of the idea, or do they just not think he's going to?
Donald Trump benefits from people not taking him seriously because he's both stupid and crazy.
Right.
And
A billionaire. He's stupid and crazy. Right.
But like he just has said everything about everything. I remember like after, was it the Parkland shooting, and they had a big conclave about guns, and he said in the middle of it, why don't we take away the guns first? Mm-hmm. Now, can you imagine anything more anathema to the right wing than saying that? It just popped into his head. He says whatever pops into. Hey, Mike, let's take away the guns first. I mean, they don't care. Well, they don't take him seriously. It's the great.
Perhaps because he's not a politician.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you have a non-politician and they're like, he's not acting very statesman-like. So,
and going back to the point that you made earlier, like everyone that was asking for a non-politics, just a real person. Now Trump is probably not as real as us, but he was.
No, he's real. He's been consistent. I mean, he was a Democrat. When they said like they'll love me when I was a Democrat. Hell, he was doing real estate in New York. If you weren't given to the Democrat, you couldn't get any permits. Are you kidding me? So like he understands that. I mean, he ran before as an independent. I'm not saying he's the second coming of Christ, but this stuff.
The stuff that they're saying is just.
It's so silly.
Trash.
It is so silly.
Greatest advantage a politician could have, especially on policy.
He's also good at flooding the zone. He says so much that any one thing he says gets dropped so quickly. Exactly. And I want to ask about this because you've talked a lot about the trial. And I kind of have the belief that this trial in some ways may be benefiting Trump in the sense that he's in a courtroom. He's not out saying crazy stuff day in and day out. Immigrants poison the blood of the country and so on. And then on top of it, if in fact there ends up being a hung jury or an acquittal, I think that feeds into the narrative he's built of it's a witch hunt, it's progressive judges coming after him. How do you see this playing out?
Well, I never thought they should have brought this trial, or if they did, it should be a federal case. I mean, I tore Merrick Garland a new one a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sure you did, buddy.
They've had 4 years to do this. Where was it? Why are we coming to the end and they were able to run out the clock? This is ridiculous. The Democrats do this every time. It's so interesting. Whenever the Republicans appoint a prosecutor, it's a Republican. And whenever the Democrats do it, it's also a Republican.
Self-destructive.
I don't understand.
There's no difference. There's no difference.
It's a say.
But if you don't think this is a witch hunt, just look at the thing they were trying to get him with his property. Saying it was a felony because he look, your house is to get a loan, said what it was worth, and he paid back the loan to the bank. And they're like, no, well, he flubbed on that. Hell, look, you've sold houses before, like your house. You have an appraiser that comes up. What if the appraiser says, no, it's only worth $180, and you sell it for $250? Does that appraiser go to prison?
Yeah, no.
For underselling the value?
They've had I've seen interviews with Kevin O'Leary, Grant Cardone.
Kevin O'Leary is he's like the Canadian Trump kind of.
Yeah,
talking about from Shark Tank. Right?
Shark Tank. He's like, what are we doing?
It's the
like you're now all these people are going to pull out of New York with real estate because it's just stupid. Just
of course.
Like now they're afraid to do real estate deals because of that.
Bro, this whole all the suits. I mean, it's so. Now look, if a cop follows you around for 500 miles, there's a good chance he's going to catch you speeding at some point.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody perfect.
Right.
Like, clearing my history right now as we say that. But it's free advertising. They are just, they cannot help themselves. They can't. Like, look, with all these suits, you see, he's wrong. And you're like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, look in the mirror.
And Merrick Garland, he just let it happen. This trial should have been a federal case about violating election laws instead of a falsifying business records in a state case, which is very convoluted. And also to the average person, it's a case about sex.
Yeah.
You know, he was having sex with a porn star.
They don't care.
Oh, I think it makes it more juicy.
The same side that's like transsexuals and kids can transition from boys to girls or girls to boys are the ones saying, well, they don't care about that he was having sex with a porn star. It's like the mental gymnastics.
It's like absurd. Some of the stuff that they.
It sounds like when I'm trying to get my son to bed. He's like fighting sleep. He's making no sense.
I gotta pee.
He's like hitting his head on the coffee table. You're like, dude, you're delirious. Like, just time to get to sleep. That's what it sounds like listening to him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's.
But it was in 2006. People made their peace with it in 2016, as voters did.
Yes.
The actual affair of
Donald Trump having an affair with a porn star while his wife was home nursing their baby is what I assume he would be doing. It doesn't shock me.
Should we bring up John Edwards cheating on his sick wife?
No, we can't. That had cancer.
Thing is, they have a utopian standard. That's why I always say, like, the left eats itself. Yeah. They cannibalize themselves because they set these utopians. Nobody can live up to that.
Yeah.
Nobody. People are flawed. I'm not saying what he did was right, but come on, guys.
It's on brand.
It's on brand.
It's on brand.
And I remember the Bill Clinton trial.
On brand also.
Yes, and
Oh, see, that's
the
cute when he
Republicans,
does it.
when that was going on, we're all about this is the rule of law, and our hands are tied, and what are we going to tell the children?
My bad, dude. I know I monopolized that. This is why I don't do politics anymore.
It's so great.
It just,
So,
it's kind of what I expected.
yeah,
A segment where he's talking about the candidates. 98%
It was
Trump.
about Trump.
And Biden, and the critique on Biden was, well, he's old.
he's old and feeble.
But he presents himself old. That's it. But let's talk.
Yeah, and I think
they can't help themselves.
I've seen other clips of that with The View where he goes into the woke and how they're like, well, wow, you can't really say woke because that's it's African American slang or whatever quote. And it's like, and he was like, okay, we'll call it far left. They're like, you can't call it far left. It's like, we'll call it what it is. You know, it's like everybody wants a title for something, but it can't be the title that's going to mess with their issues.
Dude, the word police, the thought police, the country's sick of it.
Yeah.
People are just sick of it. I remember hearing there's two classes of people, two groups when it comes to politics. Those that want to be left alone and those who won't leave you the hell alone. Vast majority want to be left alone.
Yeah.
They're like,
just let me go.
Get off my lawn. Like, stop pushing this shit down my throat. Like
I don't want to go into Target and see, gay pride and stuff, which is, I have nothing against. I mean, you have a choice. You do whatever you want, or if it's part of your body, then fine. I just don't want to see it every 5 seconds. I don't want to be shoved down my throat.
It's so forced. We were talking about this at the beach the other day. Like, every show that you fall in love with, like a season and a half in, goes so off the rails.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I was watching the show Black Sails. It was about pirates, like most badass pirate on the seven seas, were most feared, and then randomly, this is why. And then he, of course, turned out to be gay.
He's gay. He's
And
trying
you're
to
like,
find his lover.
I'm like, bro, I don't care if he's gay, but at least you don't get people hooked at him season and a half in and just be like,
just
oh,
hate
by the way,
yeah, so
he's gay.
It's
It's just lazy, man. It's lazy writing. It's lazy.
And two, maybe I'm just an idiot, but they keep calling Trump Hitler, right? Okay, Hitler did not care for the Jews, obviously, right? I think
One could make that argument. Yeah.
I've never heard anything about Trump hating Jews, but isn't the Israel-Gaza thing situation where we're just almost damning the Jews?
Well, the problem with calling Trump Hitler is it diminishes what actually happened.
Yeah.
The problem with calling Hitler a far right, I mean, he was a nationalist.
Yeah.
So was Gandhi. So was, I want to say Morgan Freeman. Who did he play in that?
He played Mandela.
Mandela. Nelson Mandela. I said Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a nationalist. It's crazy. Just, guys, look into it. My thing is, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the less you
vote.
know. Like, that's the problem. It's a rabbit hole. You're just like, this is not productive in my life. I got to get this out of it.
Yeah. Like I said, we're not trying to sway anybody to vote, but you vote the way your heart. I kind of always wish that there was a list with no titles, no like.
Should be. This is
no
what they're
party.
standing for.
Here's what you're standing for. Here's what you stand for. You go down the checklist. Check. I like this person. I'll vote for that person.
Yeah.
And then pull it back to the table. Oh my gosh! It could have been a Democrat. It could have been a Republican.
Yeah. It is the two-party system. I mean, there's no. But I think I said in the Family Guy video, look, just because something's not perfect doesn't mean there's something better out there.
Yeah.
But people are always like, can you believe these are the two best candidates for president? Who the hell would actually run for president?
Yeah. Who is crazy enough?
Who would, like,
Trump,
who would do, yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
he's crazy.
Is he an egomaniac? Of course. He's named.
Everyone is in politics.
You have to be. To have your name on, you have got to be. Especially when you're hated by the left and the right. Yeah. In the swamp, call it the swamp. Which that wasn't his original term.
Yeah.
You have to be so sure of yourself. When everybody hates you, you're just walking in, like, and they can't stop talking about you. Like,
and he is Teflon Don for a reason.
Teflon Don.
So, guys, do us a big favor. If you like this content, please leave us a comment down below. Go ahead and blast us if you want to. We're big boys. We can take it. Or if you want to praise us, please, because we kind of have egos as well. Also, do us a big favor. Subscribe to the channel.
Smash the like button.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Peace. Dude, Bill Maher is a f***ing lesbian. I'm convinced.
He does look like one of those
damn turkey
lips.
neck. Just like, can you believe he said this? And this girl's like, yeah, so, you know, when someone says they want to completely undo the democracy, I'm out. I'm like, bitch, can you substantiate anything that you just said?
So dumb.